one thing that I was not waiting on with the NBA at all, as we're waiting on, what's going on with Lillard, we're waiting on what's going on with Harden. One thing that I was not waiting on at all was whether LeBron James was going to announce he was coming back for a 21st season. I'm straight up. I'm straight up with you. I know he left it open-ended at the end of last season, but I didn't think
he did that to take away from the fact that the Nuggets had just swept him.
I don't know about that.
Dude, come on.
So many aspects of LeBron's world
are calculating, and
they
with
are
purpose.
calculated.
Yep.
And I think last night was scripted and put together for sure. Now I think that, but for you to sit there and think, that I'm going to go into this game, and if we get swept, I'm going to make it seem like it's open ended. Like we can't give LeBron the same 20th to 21st season leeway as you would give anybody else that maybe he has done. Maybe it is something that he has done. And so I will give it a benefit of the doubt that it's just the end of the season. He's hurt again. He's not 100% again. We don't know how much is, in fact, something that he can put into his day and night to get ready for a game. I mean, I will give him that leeway, but you really think he's going into that post-game press conference saying, I'm going to leave it open-ended as whether I'm retiring because I want people to talk about that now, not how the Nuggets curb-stomped the team.
Yes.
But they weren't supposed to be in that position.
Rich, the next day,
the
after
Lakers
that happened,
overperformed.
We came in here and talked. They made all these changes at the break, and they were a really good team. Chris Mannix had them in the NBA Finals, remember?
He was one of the only ones. You didn't say it. I didn't say it. We didn't say it.
We came on here the next day and didn't talk at all about the Nuggets. We talked about LeBron. Come on. Nobody bought that for a second.
I didn't.
And so he goes on an ESPN-produced event last night.
Yes.
ESPN has been talking for months about how the Lakers have gotten better around him to play next year.
Yes.
Not once mentioning the R word. And then he comes on last night and says, I'm back. And then does this thing that I think you should do after every take this year.
Should I do that?
Just do this.
Put the current
whatever this is.
Well,
and this is supposedly breaking news and red banner on the bottom line and leading first take. Like, come on.
This happened last night on the ESPYs. We could play the moment, I guess. He won the ESPY for best record-breaking performance. He passed Kareem, as we all know, as the all-time leading scorer this year in his 20th season, in which he was as good as ever. And his beautiful family was up there, and they were the ones who presented him with that award. So, roll it.
When the season ended, I said I wasn't sure if I was going to keep playing. And I know a lot of experts told you guys what I said, but I'm here now speaking for myself. In that moment, I'm asking myself if I can still play without cheating the game. Can I give everything to the game still? Truth is, I've been asking myself this question at the end of the season for a couple years now. I just never openly talked about it. I don't care how many more points I score or what I can or cannot do on the floor. The real question for me is, can I play without cheating this game? The day I can't give the game everything on the floor is the day I'll be done. Lucky for you guys, that day is not today.
And guess who didn't get mentioned again last night?
Who?
The team that won the NBA title.
Oh, stop it, dude.
The Denver Nuggets, once again, get overshadowed by LeBron James' drama.
Then they're going to come back next year. I mean, Jamal Murray was there last night. They didn't win. I didn't see the whole they didn't win anything? The Nuggets got the Nuggets got bageled last night?
Didn't get mentioned.
You got to turn on. Can you turn on his microphone?
Jamal Murray won an award.
He's got to turn.
He did?
What?
Yeah, he won.
I missed all the tweets and Instagram
well, he was there,
posts
which
about
means
it.
he won something.
He won something like comeback. I don't remember.
Let me tell you something.
John Jones was up for the award.
And again, this is not.
So they did not win anything.
So look, I didn't think he was going to retire.
Nobody
did.
No, but I honestly, and I know that this will come across as contrived, especially since that was completely scripted last night. Trust me, LeBron's not showing up for this award if his family isn't presenting it and he's not winning it. And I know that. That's what happened back in the day when we, and I'll include myself in this, were building the ESPYs. The ESPYs started before I got there, and then I worked myself into the SportsCenter rotation enough with Stewart that they asked Stuart and I to take over. I think Dan and Keith were the first ones to do an ESPY pregame show. So Stu and I did it in the balcony of Radio City Music Hall for years, like we were the old Muppets, you know. And it was tough getting athletes to come to these things. Tough. And Ken Griffey Jr., he was front center 25 years ago, because I saw the video.
Norm.
It was Norm last night
yeah.
who infuriated a lot of the athletes. And the insults came from Will Ferrell doing Harry Carey. And I remember a lot of the athletes were not laughing. It was an uncomfortable night, made more uncomfortable when Larry Walker won Baseball Player of the Year, and Junior was pissed. He got up. I remember Stewart ran after him, and Howard Katz, who's now currently with the NFL and NFL Films, ran after Stewart and went up. Screw it, I'll tell the whole story. What do I care? It's 25 years later. And,
You're not getting invited?
They went into the half of it's been lost in the mail for 21 years. And they went into the men's room, and Stu told me that Junior was pissed. Like he he came to the ESPYs to lose Baseball Player of the Year. And then I can't confirm it, but all I know is magically Player of the Year, the big award at the end, was split. It was a tie. Unbelievable how it's the same amount of votes for Tiger Woods and his fellow, I believe at the time, neighbor in the community in South Florida that they were living in, Ken Griffey Jr. So if an athlete is there, more likely than not, they're picking up an award, and they know that in advance. Because the ESPYs want these moments. By the way, beautiful moment with Damar Hamlin last night awarding, the Bills training staff with their award for saving his life. So these are beautiful moments that are viral because they're beautiful, and it does spotlight the athletes. That was the whole idea. They want stars, and they want to spotlight the athletes and the moments that we talk about and why we watch sports. It is beautiful, and Maura Mant, may she rest in peace, was so awesome at finding the right combinations that would push our buttons to get us to cry and remember, and like Jimmy V. Those moments, boy, Jimmy V, you laugh, you cry, it's a great day.
30
right?
years, Jimmy V.
Right. And Dickie V, who announced he's got cancer on his throat, on his vocal cords, so we send our best to Dickie V. But I went down this road to say there's no question LeBron wanted to say what he said last night. I wouldn't be surprised if he was reading off a prompter, that this thing was written,
Hopefully by him.
It does, even if it's not, who cares? But the whole idea, honestly, who cares? He definitely, I'm sure, read it through. I'm sure that nobody's talking for him. This is what he wanted to say. His beautiful family out there sharing in the moment for him. It is a crowning achievement. He is King James. He's now the all-time scoring king. And I know that it bothers some people that he likes to be scripted like that. He's not the only one. Remember Peyton Manning got lit up for having his celebration of his 50th touchdown all scripted?
Too.
I know, and so people do that, but honestly,
but it's okay to call these guys out for it being awkward and weird.
Or you know what? It's just this is the way they want to conduct their business, and I'm glad he's coming back for 21st season. I just didn't think he was in doubt. He's so damn good. The team is coming back. That's the thing too, is I know last night was planned, scripted, however. I don't know how many ESPYs LeBron has been to lately. I think the last one is when they spoke.
Hosted, I'm guessing.
No, I think it's when, remember that he and a bunch of NBA stars spoke about
D-Wade
social justice, that was in a very moving beginning of that ESPYs.
Yeah.
I don't know. But all I know is that at the end of the season, he might have actually been thinking it. And maybe he'll be thinking it next year. I won't believe it because his son's coming.
That's why nobody believes it. Nobody thinks he's going to retire
unless he doesn't perform well.
Wow.
We take for granted his greatness now. And, again, that Laker team, at this point last year, let's just go right back to last year at this time, right? We know what we were thinking. He's toast, the team's toast. The new coach coming in can't get Russell Westbrook to do what he wants. He's going to have a very difficult time selling what he wants the team to buy, certainly since it's LeBron's team anyway, right? It's LeBron's front office. It's LeBron's team. And what's Darvin Ham going to do anyway with this awful roster that is unfixable? Am I telling any tales out of school? When we had Darvin Ham on this program 1 year ago? And now here they are. Austin Reeves has been paid.
He's now a star
right?
in this town.
And the rest, D'Angelo Russell is here, and see you to Dennis Schroeder. And by the way, how great was the Gabe Vincent signing? Right?
Sneaky, really good. Dude played really well in the playoffs.
Gabe Vincent is going to be on this team. They're improved. I think they actually improved themselves.
They improved tremendously.
LeBron.
I know, which is why I don't believe. So, you know what?
What are we doing last night?
This is just who he is. This is what makes him tick. He wants he wants to share this moment with his family. He's probably insanely proud of beating Kareem or passing Kareem.
He should be.
The ESPYs are in his mind sitting here in Los Angeles. They probably reached out to him. Who knows? He might have a deal with Disney for his production company. And they asked him, how about this? Your family comes, they present you with an award, and you speak. And he decided to say, I'll make an announcement that I'm coming back. And we all didn't think was necessary. And that's what makes him tick, and that's why he's going to be great for his 21st season.
And that's why we can all laugh at this.
In the same way, you're like wondering, Rich, why do you always have to pace when you're on the phone, right? I did it again today. I do it every day. You watch me on the phone, I pace. You also understand,
a lot of steps.
I'm sure I have some idiosyncrasies that...
We all do.
Okay, so LeBron's idiosyncrasy...
Everything is about me all the time when
I
it
don't
doesn't
know.
need to be?
I can't imagine what it's like to walk around like him. I don't think it's everything's about me. They gave him the award. And they told him your wife and your kids can present it to you on ABC.
So talk about the award and the greatness and what it meant to you. And then to make this like, I'm coming back. Nobody thought you were leaving.
I don't know. I think this is just what comes with
at ESPN,
it's what comes with the meal.
Iger and Jimmy Pitaro say, "Hey, LeBron, look, it's slow time. We need some headlines for some content the rest of the week. Announce you're coming back."
No,
what do you think? Coached on this?
Come on, Chris. Like the guy doesn't need
Rich,
to be.
you know how this works.
But not that you need Bob Iger to tell you what to do. It's him and Mav Carter running the world. He doesn't need to hear from executives about what to do.
Something that no one thought was ever a thing. They're just going to
fabricate
this
up.
Or
maybe they have been talking about it. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe it is for a 24-hour period. It might have been real. Like, I don't know if I want to do this anymore. And I have no idea what's going on behind the scenes, but I know for sure, like, Bob Iger is probably, and Jimmy Pitaro, you're referring to the president of ESPN, they were probably like psyched that LeBron wants to do this. Are you kidding me? LeBron, if you had told me back in 25 years ago on that night I was telling you about being there with Norm Macdonald and Ken Griffey Jr. and John Elway was sitting there feeling offended about some of the stuff that was being said by Will Ferrell, right?
Yeah, Charles Woodson.
And all of that stuff, right? If you had told me we would have the all-time leading scorer in the history of the NBA and the MVP of the NFL, the hottest player on planet Earth in both of those sports, showing up at the ESPYs and accepting awards and being psyched to be there with their families, we would have been like, really? That's what this thing's going to become? Because we were just like, again, I don't mean to bring up the Will Ferrell joke. We were pulling teeth, trying to get some people there. And that's why they moved it from February to the middle of July, is you might get football players now. In February, they had just finished the season. You definitely get some NBA players because the season's done, not in the middle of their all-star break. You'll get some baseball players, maybe because it's the middle of their all-star break, not as they're about to go off to spring training. Hockey players, they moved it. So I'm sure they were psyched that LeBron was there last night. I just was like, okay, I didn't think you were leaving.
I think everyone.
I wasn't on the edge of my seat. And I understand why you and those who feel that LeBron is too manicured and too planned and too, not as spontaneous, right? As one would think a human being should be. gets upset about it. And I'm sure he's like, I don't care. Catch the Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku channel, 12 to 3 Eastern, for free.